29. Oh, they're creeping up. Of a troubled shared, a podcast, I should say, where two comedians try and heal the world by solving one of your troubles, one at a time. My name's Johnny Cochrane, but I'm not here. Oh, no, I'm not here alone. No. I'm joined by someone whose favourite quote is, "It's the things I don't say that get me into trouble." It's Twayna Mayne. How you doing, Twayna?
I'm doing great, Johnny. Thank you very much. Where's that quote? What is that, a quote from something, or do you just make that up?
It's a legit quote. Are you going to really maybe do this live?
Yeah. Where did you lift that one from, Johnny?
I just googled trouble quotes before we hit record, and kind of like that one. But considering we do talk a lot about different things, it's the things I never say get me into trouble. There's a lot going on there, isn't there? You know what I mean? I like it. So did you like that one?
Yeah, it was brilliant, Johnny. Thank you for it. Yeah, I mean, it's you introduced me, and that's the main thing.
You're here now.
I'm here now. I've been introduced. Thank you very much.
And welcome to everyone that is tuning in. Hopefully you're someone who's familiar with this series and you're sticking with us. And if you are liking this pod, do, as I always say, tell people about it. This is not your little secret. That's not what this is about. Get the secret out as wide as possible. Let people know you should be listening to A Trouble Shared. We would thank you greatly. Any troubles from you at the moment, Twayna?
I don't have any, Johnny. How about yourself?
Let me think. Any troubles?
Has the car? Car's all right. Kids all right. What?
No. Do you know what? I'm gonna put some real out there. Okay. Now, years ago, I'm talking. I was in my 20s. Don't need to tell you how old I am, but I'm not in my 20s anymore. It was quite a while ago. I hooked up with someone. Right, great, like from my local area. And, again, I haven't spoke to her for well over 15 years, I would say. And now I've moved into my new area. I come across her a few times and I'm just driving, school runs or whatever. And she will see me and pretend like she hasn't seen me. And it's like, what is going on? Like, what? You're not that big a part of my life. Do you know what I mean? But I just find it baffling that. And I kind of have thought lately, maybe, because from what I know, she's married now, and maybe I might have been the last thing that she was doing before she went off and got married or whatever. I don't know, but how you've left something in your head is completely different to how someone is in their head. I wouldn't say I'm not really wildly troubled by it, but it's something that's been going on. What do you reckon, Twayna?
How long has this been going on for, Johnny? When did you see her last? When did you see her the first time? 6 months ago or what?
No, I've only been in the last 3 months, and I've just crossed paths, crossed paths on school run and stuff in cars, and she's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's just really weird. Okay, I'm not expecting it. You know what I mean? Hey, let's pull over and have a big hug. It's life. Most people have hooked up with people. Do you know what I mean? There was never any promise of anything more, and for someone just to be really weird about it, I just found it a bit odd.
Maybe you broke her heart. Maybe you broke her heart, Johnny.
Well, there is always a danger of that, isn't it? You know what I mean? And if she is listening, thanks for your attention with the Trouble Shared podcast. But listen, I wish you all the best in your future. So yeah, maybe I did, but onwards and upwards, Twayna. And besides, I ain't got time for that. I'm here to start helping other people and solving their troubles. You ready to get into this one?
Let's do it.
Okay. Since my husband discovered his now favourite self-development influencer, he has turned into a completely different person. Whether he is being rude to shop workers or acting entitled around the house, his ego has grown past the point of no return. I'm 43, my husband is 49, and we have been together for 15 years. He had always been very level-headed until one day he spotted a self-improvement male podcast. At first, I thought it was nothing. I thought nothing of it when he joined the gym and started eating an excessive amount of red meat. Then it spilled into his attitude towards me. Now he constantly preaches about the importance of separating his ego from himself and being assertive to those around him. However, in my eyes, there is a difference between being assertive and blatantly rude. He has even preached at strangers on the street. I barely recognise him. How do I get through to him? What do you reckon, Twayna?
This doesn't sound particularly fun. The excessive amount of red meat is sounds very off-putting in of itself. Man's an arsehole. Just tell him to his face. Say, look, sort it out. Have a bit of chicken maybe and some green veg, and chill the F out. Otherwise, I'm leaving you.
I mean, as is the case with so many of these, and what we're dealing with here, read between the lines. It's a manosphere kind of podcast. Someone who's probably checking out the Liver King. I don't know if you know that guy. He just eats liver all day.
Is that somebody? There's somebody who eats just like loads of red meat. I assume it's cooked. Are they all cooking this meat? But then somebody's just like no veg, just red meat and salt, some weird shit. It's like, enough of this nonsense. Get it gone. It's absolute gibberish.
No, they're straight up eating carcass out there. They ain't cooking.
It's not cooked. Yeah, no, right. Ugh.
Yeah. Because the idea is that they're trying to be like cavemen, and they're trying to strip it back where you could maybe donk a woman over the head and just go and mate with her in your cave and just take down a woolly mammoth and just eat it. Guess what? The world's moved on a little bit since that, guys. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what dating website you're going on for that caveman dating, but there's more than just red meat out there. And most ladies don't actually, not looking for that kind of, the Neanderthal type. But these guys end up tying themselves in knots with you got influencers like this who try to tell people and sell you a dream of what life's like and what masculinity is, where it's like, what women really need is a strong, dominant male and all of this stuff. And then in the end, it's just a bunch of guys like this, middle-aged guys whose wives want to leave them because they've just been, to sort your life out, mate.
And whose breath smells like arse. It's like, come on, you must absolutely honk. It's just like, yeah. Just leave him now. It sounds rotten, literally.
Well, he had been very level-headed, as she says. So, there was a good guy underneath it all. And ultimately, what the key to this is, and if you look at what's the manosphere and things like this, all these men are searching for something. That's the point of it. They didn't just come out the womb and were arseholes straight away. It's not that. They've ultimately been failed by a society as they deem it, and they've been pushed into the bosom of someone who has bad intentions. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'd like to think he can be saved, but he certainly needs to know that there's consequences to the way that he's acting, because the point is they get fed a notion of, if you act like this, life will start going this way for you. If you act if then everyone's going to bow down. And what you need to do is start showing, no, if you keep acting like this, then your wife's going to leave you. And guess what? There's not a row full of other, eligible ladies lining up to eat some raw meat with you. You're done, mate. So it's up to that person to start making choices. But this notion that they're just going up to random people, being rude and trying to be alpha all the time, it's just a nonsense. And I think that you need to read him the riot act and just let him know that it's not going to pass, and he needs to get back to being something that you can recognise. Otherwise, not compatible with this one. And I think you should give him very short shrift over it. We sorted that one, have we, Twayna?
Definitely. Cook your meat, everybody.
Right. Cook your meat. Yeah. Right, here we go. Next one.
Here's a question. I split up with my ex almost 6 months ago, which was pretty devastating and took a long time to get over it. The thing is, I still have naked pictures of them on my phone. Is it bad to look at them every now and again?
First of all, it took a long time to get over. It's like, mate, almost 6 months is not that long anyway. You're quantifying that. So this is quite an interesting one. I don't think it is. The main thing that I would say is, obviously you don't share them with people, but it was shared with you. And now some people could go, I sent them to you when we were in love or whatever else. I think there's got to be some personal responsibility. Like, you know, if you share them with people, you understand that it's not a Snapchat. It doesn't just dissolve. So that person's got it. You've got every grounds for recourse if they're off sharing it or posting it, and there are legal issues that pop up. But the idea that your ex has got naked photos of you that you sent and they're still there, then you shouldn't have sent them in the first place, as far as I'm concerned. So if this person is looking at them now and again, I just think it's more of an indictment as to why you necessarily want to look at them, because she ain't coming back, you know. But ultimately, if they're on your phone and you haven't deleted them, then they shouldn't have been shared in the first place, as far as I'm concerned. So that's where I would go with that. Twayna?
You're assuming this person's a she, or I don't know. You're like she ain't. You're assuming this person's a guy, and he's anyway because we don't know who this person is. Anyway, yeah, don't share them with anybody. Is one thing, and also like you said, you split up with somebody, and it was pretty devastating. Like, are you trying to get over this? Because looking at a naked person, make naked pictures of your ex is not going to help you get over them. Do you know what I mean? So like,
I'm just healing.
I'm just healing by looking at fucking dick pics. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, what would you like? Do you want to get beyond this? Do you know what I mean? So maybe a delete of these pictures might be useful, or do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to work out what this person wants from this sort of, because it's not there's nothing wrong with looking at naked photographs if they were sent to you, like legitimately, if they were sent from by the person you're in a relationship with. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with, do you know what I mean? But like we said, don't share them with anybody. But also, like, do you want to get over this person, or just want to just be in this state of limbo for the rest of your life, pining? Because that's kind of where you are. So I think you kind of want to get over this person. So I would sort of have one last look, make yourself a nice drink, have one last look, and then delete. Then just delete. Have one long last look.
Oh, it was good. It was good.
Call in sick from work, take a week off, and have one last look, and then delete them, and then delete from like you're recently deleted. Don't leave them in the recently deleted for like 28 days, and you go, right, recover.
Yeah.
I'm looking again.
That was close.
Yeah. Don't screenshot them. Don't go in the delete folder. Screenshot from there, and then just delete. Just move on, and then you can find somebody else.
They're in the cloud, thank God. Oh, thank God, they're up in digital heaven. I'll go and get them when I want them. Yeah. No, you summed that up perfectly. Yeah, if you are genuinely trying to get over them, having a little masturbation session over your ex's nudes is probably not the way to move on. So yeah, at some point they'll have to go, but it's not that bad in of itself. Okay, moving on. I am at the end of my tether with my husband's horrible moods and constant backseat driving. Apparently I fold his clothes the wrong way, make the bolognese too tomatoey, and should have his jackets dry cleaned more regularly. He's utterly miserable, and it's starting to ruin our relationship. I'm 43, he's 45, and we've been married for 10 years. He was always so happy and charismatic, but over the years he's turned sour. Now he spends all his time picking at me and complaining about something. I can never do anything right. Even when I drive, he spends all of his time criticising me, even though he knows it unnerves me and makes me feel incapable. Whenever I try to talk to him, he refuses to admit his moods and will find a way to turn it all around on me. I feel so worn down. Where do I go from here? Twayna?
Is he like listening to like podcasts and eating raw meat? Because this sounds like he's going down a slippery slope. Sounds familiar, Johnny. Have a word with him. Tell him to cheer the F up. Come on. It's like you don't need to take this from him. I would just return it. To stop being so, what's the word? Personable with him. He can fold his own clothes. He's fucking 45, for fuck's sake. And if he's not happy with how you're making bolognese, then he should make some too, and maybe he can take his own stuff to the dry cleaners. What's going on here? Like, you're not his servant. Tell him to, buck up his ideas, and he's lucky to have you.
Well, I agree with all that, and you should certainly work on your self-worth. What's your driving like, though? Because it's one thing that I am guilty. The backseat driving, that element of it, there are some really shocking drivers who do need a bit of help. And just being like, you're making me nervous. It's like, yeah, but, you're a danger. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, didn't you see those little kids on a bike back there that you've nearly mowed down? Oh, right, yeah, I'm getting nervous. Yeah, guess what? Shouldn't be driving then. You know what I mean? Give us the keys to the whip. And no, look, ultimately, I just think that's fair ground with backseat driving. My wife does it to me. She's nowhere near on my level of driving. Gives it the big one all the time. And then when we get in the car when she's driving, it's, yeah, you might want to go down there. Stop it! You're making me nervous. Yeah, it's not my fault, is it? You know what I mean? I actually drive well. That Qashqai's never had it so good. So, but no. In general, I think it speaks to something that happens overall in relationships, where in marriages in particular, where you start to take people for granted and you start to no longer see all the things that they do for you. And if all you can do is complain, and I'm kind of talking to the husband in this situation here, then, you're not fulfilling your part in the relationship. You need to sort it out, or it's going to come to an end. And I definitely think you're right. This lady needs to certainly value herself and start drawing some lines in the sand. And one of them is not having someone going on like he's a Michelin star chef when you're serving up a bolognese. Oh, it's too tomatoey. Guess what's in a bolognese, mate? Tomatoes. Now shut the fuck up. How about that? Shut the fuck up. And have your jackets dry cleaned more regularly. Guess what, mate? Guess who else can get their jackets dry cleaned? You. Absolute moron. I mean, this does seem like it might be one of those marriages where it's slightly more traditional roles, because if you're cooking, driving's an extra one anyway, but, having to do all the cleaning and stuff like that, then what the fuck's he doing with his time? And maybe you've signed up to this allocation of roles. That is what it is. But, unless you start, and if he's working full time, maybe you need to go around and start critiquing his work that he's doing. You're not been promoted yet, mate. What are you doing in there? Hey, why have we still got the same collective income? Not doing, but obviously that's a zero-sum game. You're going to end up in ashes anyway. But I think you need to be quite clear with the guy and say, look, if you don't buck your ideas up, this is coming to an end, because when you can even say we're clearly not making each other happy, but I'm not staying in a relationship or a marriage where I feel this unappreciated. And then the ball will be in his court. He either makes the changes or you start looking for a new guy. You know what I mean? Hopefully one that's not, as you say, been on one of those male Manosphere self-development podcasts courses.
Go and find a new man who likes a sloppy bolognese.
Find someone at the bus stop, because there's one guy who ain't going to criticise your driving. You know what I mean? Even if you're jittery and nearly killing people, guess what, mate? It's this or the bus. And they'll start going, yeah, I like your driving. I like your driving in tomato in my bolognese. There you go. Sort it out. Next one. Here we go.
My son is getting married, and I've spent the last 3 months basically planning the event full time, which they are very grateful for. It will be a traditional and elegant event in March. I'm reading this now, it's May. Anyway, ignore that laugh and that whatever. I haven't broached this question with my son and his partner yet, as I know it's a complex ask, but one member of my daughter-in-law's bridal party is far less photogenic than the rest. She is significantly larger than the rest of the bridesmaids and has a partly shaved head, piercings, etc. I'm concerned that she will overshadow the photos and perhaps even the ceremony itself. I am thinking about planning it with this in mind, and will either organise it so that bridesmaids do not accompany the bride up the aisle and carefully curate photos to minimise this woman's presence, or which I imagine will not go down well, ask them to reconsider this woman as a member of the bridal party itself, and perhaps give her a camera and a role as a documenter or similar instead. She is a creative type. I just want it to be perfect.
This is disgusting. Oh, God, I know these people exist. I really do. But when you hear from them, it just reminds you there are some absolute wrong-uns in the world. The idea that your soon-to-be daughter-in-law has a close confidant friend, someone close enough to be part of it, and you want to, the photos just won't be right. You're a disgrace. What an absolute disgraceful in-law. And to be honest, the reason why you're writing in about this and not just coming out of it is because you know that coming out with this stuff would reveal you to the daughter-in-law just what a nightmare she's getting involved with. The son, I would hope, if he even caught wind of this, would just stamp it out and probably next your involvement in the planning. Because how dare you? She doesn't look like she fits the bill in your idea of what a perfect wedding is. Guess whose idea of a perfect wedding matters the most? Let's be honest, gender aside, the brides. The brides always take far more of the focal on these things. When I was planning my wedding, I really just wanted to have some kind of say in what tunes were getting played, a little bit of the menu, and ultimately I cared more about the stag do. But the brides, they've been planning this a long time. And the idea that you get to go, oh yeah, by the way, one of your, the big one, your mate, she's not in any of the photos. Fuck off. You can't come out with that shit. And why have you put she is a creative type in brackets as well? Like, like that explains it all. Do you know what I mean? Half a shaved head. How, very creative. Yeah, I think that this has revealed you to all of the Trouble Shared listeners and anyone who has read this as being an absolute nightmare, not a nice person. And I think you should really look at it as, an opportunity to reevaluate yourself and your values. Really poor form. What do you think, Twayna?
Yeah, Johnny, I'm sort of interested in your wedding now, like your priorities being your stag do, a little bit of what you ate on your wedding day and the music that was being played. Is that the order? Like stag do, food, tunes?
I just needed a good stag do. Got one of them anyway, because it was COVID wedding in the end. So,
oh, right, yeah.
And then, I mean, there's so much stuff. It's like, I was getting, oh, yeah, do you like these flowers? Yeah, whatever. What, the white ones, pink ones? Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, who's going to be there? Me and you, yeah, that's good. As long as we can be there, that's good. Don't care. Seating plans, because we got as far as that. This person can't sit. And don't get me wrong, I was getting involved, but so much of it is like, yeah, whatever. What do you want? Because I don't, it's not going to change my day either way, to be fair. I'm picking the stuff I can control. I'm a best man, a stag do. Yeah, I wouldn't be dictated to on food. Like, I want to know what the food is going to be like. And the songs, if anything, I want a more influential role over that. You know what I mean? Got wonderful tastes. And
great driver, wonderful music taste.
So, no, I mean, but you work it out as a couple. That's part of what it's symbolic of the fact you're joining your life together and you make decisions together. And guess what? This is one thing, and here's a little clue for anyone who's getting married or been married. By being a team doesn't mean you have to have an equal say on everything. It doesn't. There are going to be some things that you're better equipped to deal with than your partner, and vice versa. They're better for other things. So sometimes you can just go, whatever you want. Yeah, go for it. But as long as you feel like you're being consulted and, you know what I mean? But then there's other things that you will absolutely have a line in the sand moments going, I am not doing that. And then that's got to be a deal breaker on both sides. But for me, most of the wedding was not deal breakers. You know what I mean? She didn't want to get involved in a stag do, and she wouldn't have. Deal breaker. You know what I mean? And apart from that, I'm going to want a couple of tunes. It's going to be a mixture of house and some old school disco classics. And that's deal breakers. Otherwise, we're not getting married. You know what I mean? So, no, that's what it is. And I think that having an in-law get involved and essentially carve up your friendship group is just not.
This is awful, to be honest. It's like, it's their day. You might be helping organize it. You might have put some money towards it, whatever. The fact is, it's their day. It's their, do you know what I mean? It's the photos they're going to have on their mantelpiece. It's the photo that when their kids are born or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like, this is the start of their family together. And it's like the groomsman, the best man, the bridal, it's their favorite people that they want up there. So whether your daughter-in-law's got an interesting looking friend to you, cool, whatever. It's not about you, mate. It's really not about you. So yeah, my thing is, be ashamed of yourself and keep these views to yourself. Don't scupper their day, because like Johnny said, if they found out, your son is not going to be happy that you've pissed off his wife to be. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to forgive you for it. Do you know what I mean? And if you do it on this thing, where else are you going to do it down the line? Do you know what I mean? When she's been asked to be like godmother and is holding up, just like, stop now, just stop, just let it go.
It's a bad one for sure. So yeah, you've been told off by Trouble Shared. On to the next one then. After a disastrous family holiday, my son says he never wants to see my wife, his stepmum, again. I'm 65 and this is my second marriage. My wife is younger and doesn't have kids, but she seemed to get along well with my son, his partner, and their 5-year-old daughter. Whenever they visited us, it was always fun, so I arranged for us all to go away together last summer. I booked 2 caravans next to each other by the sea. I thought it would be lovely. Instead, it all fell apart on the 3rd night. While I was cooking, I heard shouting coming from my son's caravan. My wife came in crying, with my son following, angrily claiming my wife had shouted at his daughter for borrowing her makeup. The next morning, my son packed up and they all went home. When we got back, I tried to patch things up, but my son is adamant that he won't be in the same room as my wife again. I'm caught in the middle. I feel he expects me to dump her, but I love her and I don't want to go through another divorce. Twayna, what do you reckon?
I don't think you'll be having to divorce anybody, to be honest. This is the whole blended family stuff, isn't it, Johnny? Sometimes it can be tricky. This, you're no longer married to his mum. We don't know why. But yeah, so this is a new, it's not really a stepmom, maybe. I don't know. It's just your wife. And so maybe you need to speak to your son separately and your wife separately about how to go forward as a family. And maybe family holidays in caravans are not it. Maybe just ease it up. Maybe just go out to Pizza Hut and just do things like that. You don't need to go on holiday and stuff, because that sounds a bit too tricky.
Now, I'm not being snobbish with this anyway, because I Lord knows I do enough of them, and I've got one coming up, I should say. But caravan holidays can be stressful. You're essentially putting each other in a very small confines. With, if you're talking in the UK, usually poor weather, and the amenities are not always befitting of a family on holiday. And then rows can emerge. They can. So maybe you look at it internally and say it was your fault. If you'd booked an all-inclusive, they probably wouldn't have round. Maybe your wife's a bit more chilled. Maybe she's saying, go on, 5-year-old, take my makeup. So look at yourself, or get yourself down Haven Tiger Club. The kid wouldn't even be messing around with that makeup. She'd be in there with a Seaside squad. But you fucked up. You didn't plan accordingly, and then all of a sudden, your family's in turmoil, and it's looking like Game of Thrones, like it's all going to get burnt down. So I'm not just beating up on you, mate. Let's be productive about it. The one thing I would say is time heals. Don't try to fix it straight away, because it won't. It sounds like your son is pissed off, and it sounds like your wife's not ready to back down. You were completely right, Twayna. This isn't his stepmom. He's not rolling around like, hey, stepmom, you know what I mean? He doesn't depend on her, probably, or on you. And ultimately, he is doing what's right for the biggest vulnerable person in this, which is his daughter. And if he thinks your wife is a wrong-un, not real wrong, but, like someone who's not a positive influence, then he might say, I don't want her around her anymore. But if you give a little bit of time to let the heat come out of the situation, explain to your wife that you are absolutely not going to lose contact with your son. That's not how it is. And she needs to apologize for her part in it. And maybe speak to your son and say, listen, she's my wife. I'm not getting divorced again. Maybe there's no more caravan holidays coming up, but you guys have to get on. Then over time, he might see that, it's important. But it would probably be better off that you, after a bit of time, speak to your wife and say that you would like her to apologize for her role in it. And that should ease the frostiness a little bit and hopefully stop it before it turns into a case of it being irretrievable. That would be my shout. Sorted that one? Here we go. Yeah. Final one of the pod.
I have a tendency to say yes to everything, whether it's a friend asking me to look after their dog again or my boss asking me to stay late. I often feel overwhelmed in the moment and then disappointed in myself. How can I break this cycle?
Yes, person. Just anything it is. Yes. Fair enough. What you have to do is start
by saying
muddying. No. Well, you could do, but you say no because by muddying up all these requests. Tell your friend you can't look after their dog because you're working late with your boss, and tell your boss you can't stay late because you're looking after a dog. You don't even have to lie. It's just based in truth. It's just stretch reality a little bit. But yeah, of course. I mean, I understand there are people like this who are they're people pleasers and they try to avoid conflict. They're often really nice people, some of the nicest people. But part of getting older and becoming more mature is learning that you can't please everyone all the time, and your main focus, within reason, not every minute of every day, but is you got to make yourself happy. And just constantly saying yes to everyone will not do that. And it seems like you've got through the first step of realization of that, and then next is putting some, plans into action. No, I'm not working late anymore because I don't want to, and I want to have a life. I'm not looking after dogs all the time because it limits me. And once you start making a few of these declarations, they will become infectious and it will snowball and you'll feel a bit more emboldened, get a bit more self-esteem about you, and ultimately be a bit happier. So that would be my advice. Start with making a stand somewhere and then build from that. What do you reckon, Twayna?
Sounds good, Johnny. Put some boundaries in. Do you know what I mean? It's like, does your friend, what is it? Are they always coming to you asking you to walk the dog? You're like, find out how much the dog walker gets paid, charge them a rate. If your boss asks you that they want you to stay late for work, you're like, am I getting paid for this? Because this is my rate. This is the overtime rate. Do you know what I mean? It's like, make these things work for you. If you're going to say yes, get some money for it. Don't just say yes. But also learn the word no. Once you learn the power of no, it's great. Do you want to come out and walk the dog? No. Do you want to stay late? No. Just say no. And it's actually quite liberating. So learn the word no and put it into action. And yeah, that's my advice. It gets easier. I mean, I'm not a people pleaser, so I don't understand when people ask me to sort of do. I'm like, no, I don't like anyone. No, I don't want to do that. I don't really like your dog. No. Do you know what I mean? I find that kind of stuff kind of easy because I don't like shit. So it's easy for me to just say no to a lot of stuff. Do you want to come round, see your nephew? No.
Will I? Potentially, if I'm forced to, but no, I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm like, will there be cake? Will there be cake there? No, then no. Oh, it's his 4th birthday. I might come. Yeah, it's touch and go. Yeah.
I agree. And just to go back to your other point about making it work for you, your first line out of your mouth whenever any of these requests gets made is, it's going to cost you. Just say that. Get used to saying that it's going to cost you, because you don't even have to tell them not even just in money. You know what I mean? Like, it could be a pound of flesh. But the first thing, will you look after my dog again? It's going to cost you. Say it twice. It's going to cost you. And then that means you're serious. And then all of a sudden, these people who think, oh, she loves looking after a dog. No. Now she expects. she's turned into some East End gangster, and it might cost me 50 quid. It might cost me my kneecaps. Do you know what? I'm going to find Tiddles a new home for the week. Or, you know, your boss as well. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. Okay. You know, and now all of a sudden, either she's not staying behind late or she's been promoted. And therefore, onwards and upwards. Do you know what I mean? I agree with you, Twayna. I think we've done it yet again. Knocked him out of the park, 6 troubles, and they're all solved just like that. And do they ever thank us? Not in your life. Not on your life. Thank you as always for listening to this. If you have enjoyed it, share it for goodness sake. Speak to people about it. Say a trouble shared. You should listen to this pod. And we will know. We're like Santa Claus. We will know if you've shared it or not. So do it. And we'll be back next Tuesday with a trouble shared. But apart from that, all that's left for me to do is remind everyone that a trouble shared is a trouble halved.